definitely going to take at least a day off, maybe 2 days off, maybe longer than that. I'm not entirely sure. It's just been very hard on me. It's actually, for a lot of people out there, probably like, what are you talking about? You just make videos whispering and talking about blah, blah, blah. This is such a mental drain. Like, I can see how and why, like, content creator get burnout, because this is actually insane. So, anyways, make sure you guys drop a like on the video. Drop a like for the consistency. Drop a like for good night's sleep. Drop a like for whatever it is. Drop a like, drop a like, drop a like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. With that being said, let's jump into tonight's video. Looking into this is the Bleacher Report power ranking. So this is the one I'm going off of, and I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of shakeups because this week we really get to see more of a good sort of sense on what we're looking at here for power rankings. We did a before, the season power rankings. We did the first day or two power rankings. Now we're about, a couple weeks in to the season. Every team has about 10 or plus more games under their belt. So now we get to really get to see what teams are starting to look like, what teams are looking good, what teams are, looking bad, what teams are just faking their success. We're gonna get into that, so this should be pretty juicy. Wow, and in last place, ranked 30th in the entire NBA, it is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Wow, that is very crazy. It says here the Wolves held a 7-game losing streak going into Sunday, which was, I'm assuming, last Sunday. The longest in the NBA so far. Well, I know the power rankings are always updated for like a weekly sort of thing. Obviously, the Wolves aren't the worst team in the NBA. They have D'Angelo Russell, Karl-Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, and a good team sort of built around them. I think they're totally fine. They're definitely, our worst teams in the NBA, but for right now in the NBA, like a 7-game losing streak is pretty bad, but also that is due because there's no Karl-Anthony Towns. He had a dislocated wrist, I think, so that's probably really why they're that low, is because they're probably ranking them without Karl-Anthony Towns. And if you're ranking them without Karl-Anthony Towns, they might be the worst team in the NBA. So that's fair for right now, but don't get me wrong, they are not the worst team in the NBA by far. 29, we have Detroit. They're arguably the worst team in the NBA. They had a good win against the Phoenix Suns. I actually watched that game, and that overtime game, it was pretty cool. Jeremy Grant actually played very well that game, and the Suns look a little off, but that was a very good game for them. I still hope they get rid of, I really hope they get rid of Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose at some point in time this season. 28, they have Memphis Grizzlies, obviously because they're ranking them without Jaren or Ja, who are still both hurt continuously. Man, I don't know when Ja is supposed to come back. He might come back before Ja is. Jaren's gonna come back before Ja. Sorry if I got that mixed up the first time, but which will be good for them because Jaren is a very key, defense sort of stretch big for this team that they really desperately need. They do play pretty okay without them. I mean, Dylan Brooks is pretty good. Winslow's a good ball handler. He used to play point guard for Miami for a little bit, so they're fine, but definitely need those boys back. Otherwise, they are no shot of winning, getting into the playoffs. We now have the Washington Wizards at 27th, and guys, you heard it here first. Scott Brooks is 1,000% getting fired before the end of the year. I have no idea how this team is losing so bad like they are. They have one of the best backcourts in the entire NBA. Arguably, they have the best backcourt in the NBA with a past MVP and a bona fide all-star go-get-em bucket getter in Bradley Beal. There's no way this team should be 3-8. There's no way this team should be 3-8. Sure, they have faced really good competition, but they've also faced teams that they definitely should have beaten, and they didn't. And it's kind of weird how they have it. I mean, they have obviously the superstar power, the duo power. Every team needs a duo, and they have that. And their people they have around them are bad. Like, they have Denny Thomas Bryant, who's now hurt now, and I think he's actually out for the entire season. So that really sucks. That's a big blow. Troy Brown Jr., Rui Hachimura, I think just recently returned, so they should hopefully start getting on the right track if they can sign a free agent with, being the next starting center for them. 26th, we have the Houston Rockets. That's actually pretty interesting. I don't really know why. I mean, they are 3-5, but they're still kind of unhealthy. I think they're just recently getting back, James, John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, that all sort of line up. So it's definitely going to take a while for them to get going. This team is still, in my opinion, a playoff contending team. Definitely a 10th, 9th seeded play-in game team for sure. So definitely do not lose your sights on Houston just because they're ranked low for this week. They're going to be a team that makes a nice, last 2 months of the year push into the playoffs. Mark my words. 25th, we have the Toronto Raptors, who just lost again today by another sort of buzzer beater, a close game. They lost the other night, I think, against the Warriors on a Pascal Siakam missed shot, and they just lost tonight again against Portland to a Pascal Siakam missed shot, I think, again, didn't they? It's been pretty rough for them, and it's been very rough on Pascal Siakam. I think that team is just really struggling, and they need, I've been saying this for the last year now, ever since Kawhi left, they need a guy, they need a go-to, they need a locker room voice. Kyle Lowry is good. Kyle Lowry can't be that guy, but he just can't do it the way he probably would like to. He's not going to be what we all think he's going to be, what we all thought he was going to be. So, I think that team really needs to take a good long look in the mirror and think, okay, if this team constructed right now cannot win a title, what are we going to do? There's two options. There's A, you either pray to God for another sort of Kawhi Leonard sort of situation, which may not ever happen again, or B, you blow the team up. You let Kyle Lowry walk. You trade Norman Powell and different types of really good pieces for draft picks, younger players who can develop, and you build around sort of Pascal in that sort of way. Or even this option number 3, which is a scary option, is the big red button, which is you trade Pascal Siakam for a top 5 pick. You trade Kyle Lowry for picks, and you just go crazy with it. I think that's definitely the last option. But 24, we have the Chicago Bulls, who are very, very, very not much doing what I thought they were going to be doing this year. I thought they were going to be a team that's like, hey, they're in the playoff race, they're getting there, but they're definitely not where I think they would want to be. They're 12th right now. I mean, the Knicks have a better record than them, and Charlotte does as well. They should definitely be better than those teams. They've been together a lot longer. Their team is, I think, a little bit well put together than those other teams. So, I mean, we're gonna have to see. But man, the Chicago Bulls are just asking for Zach LaVine to leave. They are just praying for that because they are just not doing what they should be doing. Wow, 23rd, we have the New Orleans Pelicans. Last time we checked, I don't know, this was last week's is the ones we saw, but it says here last week's power rankings, they were 15th. They dropped all the way to 23rd. That might be the biggest jump. That's almost 10 spots. That's crazy. I mean, I obviously know why, and the reason why is because these guys cannot close a game to save their lives. I know we all think of Brandon Ingram being that sort of off-brand Kevin Durant, but there's a certain point in time where it seems like Brandon Ingram doesn't want to be like that guy. He doesn't want to be the shot taker, the shot maker, the guy, the go-to man, which is really rough to see. And then I remember when watching the Charlotte game, they weren't feeding Zion. They weren't really doing anything with Zion. So this team can be definitely dangerous because they have nothing to lose, and they're just there for development, like Lou and Shea, and some of the other younger guys who are just there just to develop. Then you have guys like George Hill who wants to prove himself to be still a viable player. Trevor Ariza as well. Shea's just he's one of my favorite players. 21 we have the New York Knicks, which again a surprise team because last week I'm not saying like we discussed this last week, but the last time they put them up, they were 29th, and now they're 21. So that's a nine team jump. That's pretty impressive. I think they're ranked 9th right now. So I mean, dude, like as I watch them play and as I see them rack up these wins, like it's scary because this team could actually be like a playoff play-in game, which is interesting to think about because we never thought the Knicks would even do that. We thought the Knicks, okay, they're gonna tank again, get a good draft pick, get like Cade Cunningham from Oklahoma. I think he's playing for Oklahoma, right? No, Oklahoma State, something like that. Cade Cunningham, he's a really good sort of point forward, point guard type player, big guard. It would be really good for that team if they could pick him up, like a real true point guard, play alongside RJ Barrett. That'd be awesome. Man, and they could get in the playoffs. They could do it. Which, I mean, if you're the Knicks, I think you'd rather just make the playoffs and get another, what if draft pick, if that makes any sense. Because last year they bet on getting a good draft pick, and they really didn't. They still ended up getting their guy that they wanted, but they probably would have rather had a higher draft pick, and they really didn't get it. I'm very surprised about the Knicks. I'm very excited about the Knicks. And another team that I told y'all to not sleep on, the Cleveland Cavaliers, ranked 20th. They were 25th the last time they did a list. They're 20th now. I said this before. Andre Drummond is not as bad as people say he is. He's just a dinosaur. He's just washed. His gameplay is washed, but it doesn't make him a bad player. Like that team has Sexton, Garland, Okoro, Kevin Love, Andre Drummond, Cedi Osman. Like that team isn't horribly badly like made and put together. They have JaVale McGee as well, who's a 3-time NBA champion. Some people knock on him for being a goofball, but the dude can play. He's a 3-time champion, so that team can definitely again be a sort of 10th, 9th, maybe even sneak their way into the playoffs. I don't know. I don't want to say that far. Definitely could be a 10th, 9th seeded play-in game matchup, but another good jump here from the Charlotte Hornets here at number 19. 19 to Charlotte, man. I mean, LaMelo Ball is going crazy. I remember seeing this tweet that LaMelo Ball has improved his basketball skills more than Ben Simmons has his entire career, which, dude, if you look at LaMelo's first game to LaMelo now, like, could you really argue against that? Like, he just looks like he's getting better every game, and that's terrifying because it really seems like that. And again, just like Cleveland, just like the Knicks, like the Charlotte team, who arguably everyone thought was going to be another bottom feeder team, is now looking like a team who could sneak into the playoffs or be a 9th and 10th seeded matchup. So if that's the case, and Hayward keeps playing like the way he is, I think he scored like 30 plus tonight as I'm recording this video. And then Devontae Graham starts pushing a little bit more. He's been sort of off lately, but if he starts, coming back, that team can make a playoff spot. Here's another declining team, the Atlanta Hawks, which I know is all your guys' favorite team. Atlanta Hawks are 18th. They fell from 12th. They were 12th, now they're 18th, so definitely not the best. I'm pretty sure now, oh my god, this is after starting 4-1. The Hawks have gone 0-4, including blowing a 15-point lead to the Knicks last week. Yeah, I was about to say that's probably why. I think they did win tonight, though, which is really nice, which is good. But if you didn't know, apparently John Collins came out and, confronted the team, I think in a meeting, or even just Trae Young himself, and said, hey, I don't like what's going on. We have too good of a team to have the ball sticking. We need more flow. We need more offense. AKA, I need more touches type of conversation, which I think is true. I know tonight, I saw the stats for the night, and he only had 12 points, and I think that's probably going to piss him off a lot, but the team did win, which is really what's the ultimate goal. But it looks like he really didn't get a lot of touches tonight, which is really sad. But does the ball stick to Trae sometimes? I think yes, but hey, Trae Young is a guy who can score 60 points in a game, so I think that's okay. I think Collins is a great player as well, but it's all about timing. Young's not there. I don't know what you're talking. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, Trae Young's a very smart player, and I think he would make the right play when it came around. So I don't think that's really his own fault. But hey, man, maybe that's why he's not going to resign there. 17th, we have the Sacramento Kings. Again, another very surprise team for me. They're playing very well, and I know we always saw the Kings sort of on that rise, especially when their coach was Dave Yeager, who had a very good job with them. I don't know why they got rid of him for some reason. They're doing a really good job, and I think definitely getting rid of Bogdan and making Buddy Hield that two guard, like he is the starting shooting guard for that team. I think that really helped out with his confidence. You can see that being again one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA, a very good duo with De'Aaron Fox and Marvin Bagley starting to get more into the lineup. I absolutely hate that the fact that they have Marvin Bagley sometimes playing the center position. That makes me want to vomit. I want playoff spot, who I've always talked about, probably the best defense in the NBA, still a very good team. You got Rudy Gobert, you got Donovan Mitchell still, they're going to be around for the next couple years. It's just about, the next man up, who is going to be that next guy up, and so far it seems like it's been Clarkson. Bojan Bogdanovic has been playing very well. God, the rain is so loud outside. I really hope that's not being too much for you guys. But yeah, it seems like it's always that next guy up, and so far it's been Jordan Clarkson who's really been doing that, and even Mike Conley has been playing like Memphis Grizzly Mike Conley for some spurts in time. So they're playing very well. They look like a real team, and I'm very excited to see what they can do. Wow, at 11 they have the San Antonio Spurs. They jump from 20th to 11th in the NBA. My God. Where are they at right now in the conference? They're 9th in the West, and they're ranked 11th. Okay. I mean, hey, if you want to do that, you can do that, but, interesting. I think they are doing better than what I thought they were going to be doing. I thought they were going to be a bottom feeder team. I thought they would at least trade DeMar DeRozan, or LaMarcus Aldridge at some point in time this year, but as I'm watching them right now, I think they're going to go for it again. I think they're going to try to make a playoff spot again, which, when will it end? When will the suffering end for San Antonio? I mean, like, I get it. You want your young guys to get good development, and making the playoffs and playing in the playoffs is the best development you can have in the entire NBA. It'll age a player like 2-3 years if they go and play a playoff series. It's just how it is, which is fine. But I mean, I'm sure if you're a Spurs fan, you want the rebuild. You want to finally have that next go-to Spurs guy. I love DeJounte, but he can't carry an offense. So I think it might be time for them to finally get rid of those guys. But it looks like they're making another playoff push this year. So watch out for the Spurs. We have the Miami Heat at 10, which is okay. They're playing very average. They're not doing anything super crazy, which I think we all sort of saw that going into this year. Miami not trying to be, that, oh my God, we're the Eastern Conference champions, we gotta play like that. No, they're just gonna play this season like they probably did last year, and really make a nice push in the playoffs, again, like they did last year. Jimmy Butler has been playing pretty he's been playing pretty meh. Bam Adebayo's been playing really good. I think Tyler Hero's also been playing pretty good as well, so and then Kendrick Nunn just sucks, which I think they need to trade him for something, man. They really need to get rid of that guy. They have the Orlando Magic 9th in the power rankings. That's crazy. Where are they at right now? They're 5th in the entire NBA, and they're ranked 9th. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, this team is playing good, and they don't even have their arguably, best player. Obviously, Vucevic is their best player, but you could probably argue offense and defense with Jonathan Isaac not even playing yet, and still having a great team, great record, great play. I mean, obviously besides Markelle Fultz, which breaks my heart because, oh my God, you guys know I've been rooting for this guy for so long, and it's just, he finally had his break. He finally, the Magic finally got their point guard of the future, and then he gets hurt, and I know he'll be fine, he'll be great still, but that just really broke my heart, that Markelle's hurt. And then at number 8, we have the Brooklyn Nets, who, obviously they're ranking these based off of, their play last week, not where they think they are, in the entire NBA. It's just off of their play last week, and obviously without having Kevin Durant due to protocol, and then Kyrie Irving due to personal reasons and things of that nature. He's very much in his own head a lot, so he's taking time to himself, which, I mean, it's okay. He's allowed to do that. So without both of them, they've been playing pretty well still. I think Kevin Durant just came back recently, actually, so they'll be back to bean fine, but obviously not having both their guys are going to be lower, but even without even having Kyrie, I feel like the team's going to suffer a lot, so I mean, we're going to see when Kyrie comes back if they can still hold up. Wow, 7th they have Indiana. Wow. The Indiana Pacers, everyone thought that, at least I did too, a team that would just drop tremendously this year, but it really seems like what happened, and all the buzz, the trade buzz, new coach, everything like that, the sort of rebuild, sort of spark being ignited for the team isn't facing them at all. They look completely fine, which, that's crazy. I mean, they're such a well-built team put together, but I mean, we all know they're not a championship caliber team. Could they? Sure, every team can, but very surprising how well they do play against, some of the best and top talent in the NBA. Especially with Sabonis. My God, Sabonis. Another player I love. Sixth, they have the Phoenix Suns, which, my God, I knew the Suns were going to be good this year, but man, they're hyping this team up so high. Yeah, Chris Paul's doing it, and I said it before. A Chris Paul-less Thunder team is a lot worse than a Chris Paul-less Suns team. So adding Chris Paul to the Suns is just going to be a better case scenario. So, and he led the Thunder to a playoff spot, and they're a worse team than the Suns, so they could definitely do it again, and maybe make a bigger impact and splash in the playoffs. At 5, we have the Philadelphia 76ers, which again, very good team. I think they're going to definitely stay a top team in the NBA, definitely top 4 in the NBA, in the Eastern Conference, and definitely a top contending team in the entire NBA for the championship this year. I think Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, the solo team, their push shooting is actually doing a lot for them. Although, Danny Green is still struggling, but hey, that's just Danny Green for you. Then at 4, you have the Milwaukee Bucks, playing a lot better than they were at the start of the season. I can see that now. They're obviously losing a probably big sort of part in your offense, the point guard, and mixing it up with a different point guard is going to really change up your system a lot and how you play. So I think, again, kind of like a lot of these other teams that are waiting for that sort of nice push into the playoffs, then we'll really start to see like the true Milwaukee Bucks. I don't think we've seen it yet. Ooh, oh wow, so who do they have at 2? Oh, okay, I see. Okay, at 3 they have the Clippers. Pretty interesting. The last time they did a ranking, they were 2nd. Now they are 3rd. They are definitely playing really good, in my opinion. Now that Dinwiddie is out for the entire year, maybe he'll come back for a late playoff run, maybe even the finals if they make it that far. I think the Clippers might be my favorite for the title this year again. They're just such a deep team, even better than they were last year with getting Luke Kennard. In my opinion, it's just a really good scoring option for them off the bench. Serge Ibaka is just a better fit player than Montrezl Harrell. I'm not saying he's a better player, but he's a better fit player. But man, yeah, that's I don't know, that's a tough team, especially when Kawhi and Paul George can go off and can get the job done. That team is very terrifying. And team number 2 is the it is the Boston Celtics at 2, which is still pretty good. Man, the Celtics are just such a fun team to watch with Tatum and Brown. Like, that duo might be my favorite duo in the NBA. Like, that team is so fun to watch, especially with, green being my favorite color. I've always been a fan of the Celtics, even before I was even like a fan of basketball. But yeah, they're looking just really good right now, and they're finally giving some more minutes to Taco, which, thank God, because the Celtics need a big. They need a big, and if Taco can just play literally like 10 minutes a game, 15 and 10 minutes a game, and just be a big body to sort of help out with, Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, like those type of guys, that team will be so much better for that. But it's gonna come down to that. And even if he just plays some minutes now, it doesn't even have to be in the playoffs. Just as long as he gets more minutes and playing time, maybe next year he can be that guy for them. They just need someone. So I think they're doing completely fine. Is 2 kind of high for them? Obviously, if you're thinking about overall, I think yes. I think being the 2nd ranked team in the NBA might be a little too high. But as of right now in their play, maybe that's a good spot for them. And then at number 1, you have the defending NBA champs, LA Lakers. The Lakers are looking fine. The Lakers are still looking good. I think they really need to push on the brakes a little bit with LeBron. I think LeBron has played every game, and he's playing 35-ish minutes a game. They really need to save the tank on LeBron. I know you want to get the team revved up for the playoffs, but we're not even at the All-Star break yet. Let's start, pumping the brakes a little bit, because this team is good and this team is very deep. But I think it's not so much about getting LeBron and AD ready for the playoffs. It's about getting, Montrezl Harrell, Dennis Schroeder, Wesley Matthews, those guys in rhythm for the playoffs and ready for the playoffs. Because if those guys don't show up, then they're done. They're done for. They can't win, because that's why they were so good last year. Is because